Taurus, if you have been feeling lately that something in your life is quietly changing, even though there is no obvious explanation yet, pay attention to that feeling. August 2026 is not an ordinary month for you. It carries a powerful message about stability, money, relationships, personal value, and the future you are slowly building behind the scenes. At first, you may not notice how much is changing. Everything could appear normal. You wake up, continue your routine, handle your responsibilities, and move through your days as usual. But underneath that familiar surface, something important is shifting. A decision you postponed may return. A financial opportunity may appear from an unexpected direction. Someone you have not heard from in a while could suddenly contact you. Or you may simply reach a point where you realize that the life you have been tolerating is no longer the life you want. And Taurus, that realization could become one of the most important moments of your August. If Taurus is your sun sign, you may feel this energy strongly. If Taurus is also your rising sign, the effect can be even more noticeable because your identity, appearance, confidence, personal direction, and the way other people respond to you may all begin changing together. So if this reading resonates with you, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Stay with me because August has an important message for your money, career, love life, relationships, and the decision that may quietly change your future. The beginning of August may feel slower than you expected. And that is actually a good thing. Taurus often prefers certainty. You like knowing what you are building, why you are building it, and where your effort will eventually lead. You do not usually enjoy making dramatic decisions without thinking about the consequences. But August may place you in situations where the old plan no longer works. At first, you could feel frustrated. You may think, why is everything taking so long? But delays are not always rejection. Sometimes a delay is life forcing you to prepare for something you are not ready to receive yet. Imagine standing in front of a locked gate. You could spend hours pushing against it. Or you could step back and notice that there is another entrance only a few meters away. August encourages Taurus to step back. Look again. Think differently. And stop assuming that the only path forward is the path you originally planned. Your career becomes one of the most important areas of the month. If you have been working hard without receiving enough recognition, August can begin changing that situation. Someone may finally notice your consistency. A manager could trust you with an important responsibility. A client may return with a new offer. A colleague may recommend you for an opportunity. Or you could receive information about a position that seems much more suitable for your future than your current situation. The interesting part is that this opportunity may not arrive in the dramatic way you expect. It may begin with a conversation, a casual question, an email, a message, a recommendation from someone you barely expected to help you. Do not underestimate small beginnings. Some of the biggest changes in life enter quietly. If you are considering changing jobs, August asks you not to make a decision purely because you are tired. Ask yourself what you are moving toward. Are you moving toward better income, more freedom, better working conditions, professional growth, a healthier environment? Because leaving something is not automatically progress. The real goal is to build something better. For Taurus entrepreneurs and business owners, August can be especially interesting. You may begin thinking more seriously about expansion, a new service, a different product, an online business, a second income stream, partnership, or a way to turn something you already know how to do into something financially valuable. You do not need to rush. Your greatest strength is your ability to build slowly and create something that lasts. While other people may chase quick results, you have the ability to create foundations. And this month, foundations matter more than appearances. Financially, Taurus, August deserves your attention. There is potential for improvement, but the universe is also asking you to become more strategic with money. You may have an opportunity to increase your income. A delayed payment could finally arrive. You may receive additional work. A side project could become profitable. Or an old financial issue could finally begin moving toward resolution. But there is another side to this. You may also feel tempted to spend more. Perhaps you want to reward yourself. Perhaps you have been working too hard and feel that you deserve something expensive. And you do deserve to enjoy your success. But August asks you to think beyond today. Before making a major purchase, ask yourself, will this make my life better 6 months from now? That question could save you from unnecessary expenses. Be particularly careful with financial agreements, loans, investments, and promises that depend too heavily on someone else's word. Read the details. Ask questions. Take your time. Your intuition may tell you when something feels wrong, but combine intuition with practical analysis. That combination will protect you. There is also a fascinating possibility during the second half of August. A talent you have never taken seriously could become a source of additional income. Maybe you are naturally good at organizing things. Maybe you know how to communicate with people. Maybe you can sell. Maybe you understand technology. Maybe you are creative. Maybe people constantly ask you for advice. Sometimes the ability that feels easiest to you is precisely the ability other people are willing to pay for. Do not dismiss what comes naturally. Your natural talent may be hiding a financial opportunity. When it comes to love, August becomes much deeper than it appears at first. If you are already in a relationship, you may begin asking yourself whether the relationship truly gives you the emotional security you need. You are not interested in temporary excitement anymore. You want consistency. You want honesty. You want someone whose actions match their words. And if your relationship already has those qualities, August can strengthen the connection. There could be meaningful conversations about the future. You may discuss living arrangements, financial plans, travel, family, marriage, or another long-term goal. These conversations may make you feel closer because you finally understand that you are building toward the same destination. But if there has been emotional distance, August can expose it. You may realize that you have been carrying more of the relationship than the other person. Perhaps you have been the one initiating every conversation, making every compromise, trying to fix every problem, keeping everything together. Eventually, even the strongest person becomes tired of holding a relationship alone. And August may make that impossible to ignore. Taurus, remember this. Real love should give you peace, not constantly make you question your worth. If you are single, the romantic energy becomes especially interesting during the middle and later part of the month. Someone could enter your life through work, mutual friends, social activities, travel, or even an ordinary everyday situation. And this person may surprise you. They may not immediately fit the image you normally have in your mind. Maybe they are quieter, more mature, more reserved, less dramatic. But there may be something about their presence that makes you feel comfortable. Do not underestimate that feeling. You have probably learned enough about love to understand that intense attraction does not always equal compatibility. Sometimes the person who gives you butterflies is not the person who gives you peace. And August may help you recognize the difference. There is also a possibility of someone from your past returning. If that happens, don't immediately assume it means you are supposed to go back. Ask yourself a different question. Who am I now compared with the person I was when this relationship existed? You may discover that you no longer want what you once desperately wanted. And that realization can be incredibly freeing. Your social circle also undergoes an important transformation. Taurus is loyal, sometimes too loyal. You can continue supporting people long after they stop supporting you. You can forgive repeatedly. You can remain patient when others have already shown you who they are. But August may change your standards. You may begin noticing who celebrates your progress and who becomes uncomfortable when you grow. That distinction matters. Some people love you when you are available to them. Others love you when you become successful. And there are people who only feel comfortable around you when you are struggling. August helps you recognize the difference. You do not need to announce every boundary. You do not need to create dramatic endings. Sometimes you simply stop giving unlimited access to your energy. And that is enough. Emotionally, this month may bring a powerful internal transformation. You may realize that you have spent too much time trying to create security by controlling everything. But life cannot always be controlled. You cannot control how another person behaves. You cannot control whether an opportunity arrives exactly when you want it. You cannot control whether someone chooses to stay. But you can control what you accept. You can control your response. You can control your standards. And you can control where you place your energy. That is where your real power begins. There may be moments during August when you feel unusually emotional. You might remember something from childhood, a past relationship, an old disappointment, a decision you regret, a dream you once had but abandoned because life became complicated. Do not push these feelings away. They may be showing you something important. Perhaps there is an old version of yourself waiting to be acknowledged before you move forward. Healing does not always mean forgetting. Sometimes healing means remembering without allowing the memory to control you. And Taurus, you are entering a period where your relationship with yourself becomes more important than ever. You may begin asking, what do I actually want? Not what your family wants. Not what your partner wants. Not what your colleagues expect. Not what society considers successful. What do you want? That question could lead you toward an entirely different future. Your physical energy throughout August may also fluctuate. At certain moments, you may feel extremely productive. Then suddenly you may feel like doing absolutely nothing. Listen to your body. Your strength comes from consistency, not exhaustion. You do not need to prove your dedication by destroying your energy. Rest. Sleep. Eat properly. Move your body. Spend time outdoors. Give your mind moments without constant stimulation. Sometimes the best financial, career, or relationship decision comes after you finally allow yourself to breathe. As the month progresses, your intuition becomes increasingly important. You may experience meaningful coincidences. You may repeatedly hear the same idea from different people. You may think about someone shortly before they contact you. You may suddenly feel that you should accept an invitation you would normally decline. Pay attention. But do not abandon logic. Your intuition can point toward a direction. Your wisdom decides whether you should walk there. The first week of August may feel like a period of observation and preparation. You are watching, thinking, planning, understanding what needs to change. The second week can bring important information connected to work, money, or relationships. Around the middle of August, emotional matters may become stronger. A conversation could reveal what someone truly feels. The third week can bring more movement professionally and financially. An opportunity may become more concrete. And toward the final days of August, you may finally see the result of decisions you made earlier in the month. Certain days may feel more productive than others. Early in the month, focus on planning rather than rushing. Around the middle of August, pay close attention to conversations and unexpected invitations. Later in the month, take advantage of opportunities connected to money, career, networking, and personal growth. And when the month begins to close, give yourself time to reflect. Because you may realize that the biggest change was not something that happened around you. It was something that happened inside you. Taurus, August 2026 is teaching you that security does not always mean staying where you are. Sometimes true security comes from knowing that even if you leave the familiar, you have enough strength to build something new. You may be standing between two versions of your life. One version is comfortable, predictable, familiar. But it may no longer inspire you. The other version is uncertain. It requires courage. It requires change. It requires you to trust yourself. But it may also contain the growth you have been waiting for. And this is where your biggest decision could appear. Will you choose what is familiar simply because it feels safe? Or will you choose what is aligned with the person you are becoming? You don't need to answer that question immediately. Let August reveal the answer naturally. Because sometimes the right decision becomes obvious only after you stop forcing yourself to make it. As the month comes toward its conclusion, something inside you may become calmer. You may stop chasing approval. Stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to convince people of your worth. You may simply know. Know what you want. Know what you deserve. Know what you are no longer willing to tolerate. And that quiet certainty can become more powerful than any dramatic moment. Taurus, there is a reason certain doors did not open when you wanted them to. There is a reason some relationships ended. There is a reason some opportunities disappeared. And there is a reason certain dreams took longer than expected. Not everything that delays you is denying you. Sometimes life is rearranging the pieces. And August 2026 may be the month when you finally see how those pieces fit together. So don't underestimate the small signs. A message, a conversation, a new idea, a financial opportunity, person you meet unexpectedly, a decision that initially seems insignificant. Your future may begin through something that looks ordinary today. Sometimes destiny does not arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives quietly, sits beside you. It whispers an idea. It gives you a choice. And then it waits to see what you will do. Taurus, when that moment comes, don't let fear make the decision for you. You have spent enough time building stability. Now it is time to build a life that is not only stable, but meaningful. A life where your money supports your freedom, where your career reflects your abilities, where your relationships give you peace, where your friendships feel genuine, and where you no longer have to abandon yourself just to keep everyone else comfortable. August 2026 can be the beginning of that shift. Not because everything suddenly becomes perfect, but because you finally begin choosing differently. And sometimes one different choice is all it takes to create an entirely different future. So Taurus, walk into August with patience. Walk into it with wisdom. Walk into it with an open mind. Do not rush what needs time. Do not hold on to what has already finished. Do not fear the opportunity simply because it looks unfamiliar. And never forget that your greatest strength has always been your ability to build something real from almost nothing. The ground beneath you may be changing, but you are not losing your foundation. You are creating a stronger one. And by the time August 2026 comes to an end, you may look back and realize that the month did not take your stability away. It taught you what stability truly means. It means knowing who you are, knowing what you deserve, and having the courage to build a future that finally feels like your own.